So camp.
Stop laughing at me. It's not even funny.
Yes, it is.
Hi, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Sam.
And this is The Empty Closet.
The show for everyone, whether you're in the closet
Or out and proud.
or somewhere in between.
Sam, I found an app that's going to save me so much time and effort, which is odd for an app because usually it's just a time vortex.
Is it a calendar app?
No, I already had one of those. I actually extensively use my calendar and find it very helpful. No, this app was to help me try and figure out what I'm doing with my diet, because everybody talks about, oh, you should have a healthy diet, and then there's so much conjecture about what does a healthy diet actually look like, because you talk to everybody and the only thing they can agree on is that pretty much potato chips are bad. But you didn't need to be a rocket scientist to realize that something that's carbs, deep fat fried, and then layered with salt, encrusted with salt, is going to be bad for you.
I think it's more that there's no truly good or bad food unless it's actually poison, then it's bad. But this is also why people see dietitians, and dietitians cost lots of money and go to university for a long time because it needs to be tailored.
Yeah, but like, we're in the age of computers and big data, Sam. An app should be able to tailor it.
You mean like how people should watch YouTube to learn to go to the gym?
Well, we're not talking about user-contributed videos here, because you know that user-contributed videos are terrible usually. No, we're actually talking about an app that it has like a database of like heaps of different foods and their macronutrients. So everybody's heard about, when they talk about macronutrients, they're talking about like carbs, fats, and proteins. They're the big three things that you need to think about when you're eating. And basically it has all that data about all these different foods, and then you tell it like roughly how much you exercise each week, what your goal is, like do you want to put on weight, do you want to lose weight, and how old you are and how tall you are, and a few other bits and pieces, and it like magics up a week's worth of recipes for you, so you can like be able to make healthy food and eat healthy for once in your life, Andrew.
Possibly eat balanced is a better word for what you're after.
Potentially, yes.
So, how did it go?
Well, so I started this like a little bit over a week ago.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in there. I heard about this app before we recorded, funnily enough. Andrew and I do see each other outside of recording the show. And I'd gone over to Andrew's, and Andrew's like, I've got this great new app and I'm doing this meal prep. And I said, oh yeah, how do you find that? And he goes, honestly, I bet I'm not going to last the week, but we're going to try it.
Well, to be honest, Sam, I kind of lasted a week, but there was so much food. It was so ridiculous compared to what I normally eat. It was so much food and I couldn't keep up with it. And basically the app's favorite thing to get me to eat was carrots. So I literally I think I actually texted you and I was like, can you buy another 2 or 3 kilos of carrots, please? I literally have one of the bags I still haven't even opened. It's still sitting in my fridge. There is still food from my 1 week diet that is sitting in my fridge and it's 2 weeks later.
That's not bad in that, you can still eat that food, but maybe you don't have to strictly follow the diet plan designed for you by an app in 30 seconds that doesn't, investigate you thoroughly.
Well, I have no doubt that it was very well balanced and well thought out, but oh my God, I was like, I cannot even eat all of this food. It was a lot of food.
Maybe you should have substituted some of it for higher calorie stuff and eaten less.
Well, but I think some of it was pretty high calorie. It had a lot of cheeses and yogurts and stuff like that. That's high calorie.
Well, not if they're low fat. Well, no, that depends, because if you're playing along at home and you've never heard anything about dieting before and you want to get sucked into things on the internet, first, don't get sucked into things on the internet. It's a terrible idea. But as a general rule, if something tells you that it's low fat, then it's going to be high in sugar or high in carbohydrates. And if something tells you that it's low sugar, then it's going to be high in fat. Because those are really good marketing labels, but they still want it to taste rich and creamy.
Well, I had a very rich and creamy, low fat. I wish I could say that the cottage cheese that I discovered was like amazing, but it probably wasn't really. But I haven't had cottage cheese since I was a child, and I actually really liked it. So I'm walking away from this like week-long disaster of a diet. With one new thing that I'm like, you know what, when I'm in the supermarket next time, I might actually buy some cottage cheese and just give it a go. We'll see. Surely there are some actually tasty recipes I can make with this. So this diet, Sam, was like incredibly boring. So what did we do to try and mix it up a bit, make it a bit more interesting? Spices. You came over to my house and we had a spice night where we made spice mixes.
Yeah, and I mean, spice cabinets can take you ages to build because spices, if you're bulk buying them, are expensive. But I basically got into spices because if I was particularly broke or lazy and hadn't done my groceries and I had a sweet potato for dinner, I wanted to be able to put something on the sweet potato, so I at least felt like that was an intentional choice and not because I'd been too slack or too poor to go to the shop.
Well, can I say that we did make a delicious salad and some other delicious things that night, and it was like the most tasty stuff I'd ever eaten. It was amazing.
And it was basically the intention was to try and keep you on the app longer, which failed miserably.
Well, to try and keep me in there for more than a week. Unfortunately, yeah, that did not work. After a week, I was like, I'm out, I'm done.
Now, there might be a complicating factor, though, to the spices in your meal.
Well, I think it's a complicating factor to the spices, but also, like, the volume of food that I had to eat on the old diet. And that complication is these diets are not written for gay boys who might enjoy anal sex.
If you are a person who enjoys having things stuck up your butt, not just gay boys, other people like things in their butt.
Right. Well, anyway, bottoms, you know what I'm saying. It's so much admin. So much. You just spend all your time. In fact, I even thought, Sam, I was like, maybe I should just practice topping because this is a waste of time.
Like, well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with multitasking. Like, you could learn a new skill, Andrew.
What am I going to do? Read my ebook while I'm, in the shower? I don't think it quite works like that. Like, you have to pay attention to what you're doing to learn something new and pay attention to what you're doing to, get ready for some intimate time. Stop laughing at me. Sam, all you ever do is laugh at my efforts to be a better person.
That's a lie. Sometimes I encourage them before laughing.
Why is it that my life always ends out to be a comedy?
Because I think sometimes you set out to make it that way.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's good times. But so since you've gone off the deep end, rather gone off the app, have you tried any spices without the volume of food to see if your admin has perhaps reduced in load?
Oh, Sam, your choice of words. Look, I have. And I think because we made this spicy taco mix, which, by the way, Sam's recipe for a spicy taco mix is just divine. But like a day later, I was paying for it. It was like, I think I might have put a bit too much in. So I'm going a bit lighter on the spices now.
We could also try making it without the chili. That might be the particularly complicating spice.
I actually love chili.
That seems like it would have difficulties for your admin.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Sometimes it does. I think it depends on how much I've eaten, that sort of thing. I don't know. I'm no scientist about it, and everybody's body's different. And I think your body reacts differently to different sorts of food as well. So it's a bit of trial and error.
It's not just trial and error. The science around diet is very complex, which is why it's its own it's separate specialties involved in it. Some of which you know people who are involved in diets.
Yeah, every time that I ask my friends who are dietitians or my family who are dietitians, the answers that I get are very vague. Like my best friend, she was like, so it's really easy. You just eat less and move more.
Yeah, because you basically, to lose weight, you need to starve yourself. But to do it without making yourself sick or without a higher chance of rebound, you have to do it slowly.
Yeah. So basically I was like, oh, well, I'll read on the internet and I'll find some good advice. Can I tell you right now, there is so much, like, I like to call it bro science when you're looking at like gym diets on the internet. Like, it's terrible science. In fact, not even science. It's just like,
No.
it's just people talking crap.
No, on the internet, how dare.
I know, but they say it with such authority.
So you've given up on the app. You've slowly reducing your spice mix. You've ignored the vague yet actually helpful advice from the actually qualified people in your life. What is the next step for Andrew's eating strategy?
So I took some advice from the internet. And I know, I'm seeing a pattern here. Thank you for pointing it out so genuinely, Sam. So my next strategy is, and this is kind of like half based on internet stuff and half based on someone in real life who actually told me this. So my trainer was like, you're making it too complicated for yourself by trying to do everything all at once. He's like, just start by counting how many grams of protein you're eating every day. And I was like, okay, cool. I can actually manage that. So that's the strategy that we're doing at the moment. And I've prepared, you'd be so proud of me, Sam, that I've prepared some meals that are in my fridge at home at the moment that actually look like they might be tasty, and they are using a moderate amount of the spice mixes that we prepared. And they smelled good when I was cooking them, so there's like plus. There's good things happening there.
Are they identical to the chicken salads you've made before?
Basically, yes. And so it's like, it's gone like full circle. I was like, oh, I don't think I'm eating enough. Oh, I need to change my diet. Oh. And now I'm back to square one where it's like, just eat some chicken salad and be done with it.
I kind of feel like, the chicken salad is because you know that you'll like it.
Yeah, I've done some that are not chicken salads as well. I've done chicken other ways too.
Are you going to branch out to any other poultry?
At this stage, I don't have any plans to do that. I did. Oh, you know what I did get though? I went to the supermarket and spent like a stupid amount of time looking at the different meats, because the other complicating factor is I don't have like the financial resources to eat steak every night. Like, once in a while, maybe, but every night, no. And I found kangaroo is like really pretty healthy, actually. So I've prepared a bunch of meals that's like kangaroo ones, and a bunch of meals that are like chicken ones with a bit of salad. And then I've prepared some other ones that are like chicken with some more sensible starchy vegetables, like carrots and potato and like brown rice and that sort of thing. So I think that's more sensible, but it's like, it's exactly what I was eating before all this palaver started.
I think the biggest tip really is try not to eat too much processed food if you can. It's not always possible. But try not to eat too much processed food. Try to up your vegetables if possible. Try to go for whole grains where you can, or brown versions of rice and things like that.
The whole grains are the whole issue when doing the admin though.
Yes, but so you need to adjust your diet to your specific non-food circumstances.
There's grains everywhere, Sam. Everywhere. They hide in every nook and cranny. Like literally, it's ridiculous.
So, should you pound your bread up with a mortar and pestle first? Like, what's the go? What's the plan of attack here?
Oh, well, I'm gonna start eating more of that. That stuff I told you about that I made after reading about it on the internet?
Is this the admin miracle cure thing from the people on the boat?
I can't even talk about it. Yes, it is.
Jesus Christ. So no, wait. So once you perfect your regime for both ends, for all scenarios, are you going to make your own app?
I could probably write a book. I would be so experienced by then.
Yeah, but let's be real. You'd make an app over writing a book.
Yeah, it would sell more.
And what would you call it?
I don't know. In versus out. I don't know.
Coming and going?
A gay boy's guide to dieting. I have no idea. No idea. Thanks for listening to The Empty Closet. If you liked this episode, check out our podcast. Just search for Empty Closet Radio, hit the subscribe button, and you'll be kept up to date with all of our latest episodes.